Growing up is a scam, and I will actually tell you what I mean about that statement. Even though my facial expression doesn't actually symbolize what I mean about what I just explained. So, what I mean about saying that life is just a scam or growing up is a scam, it's simply because we were never taught how to react when certain things unfold in our lives, when certain things actually happens in our realities. We were only taught and also told how to avoid when bad things are about to unfold or when bad things happen. We're taught that ignorance is bliss, but I'm here to challenge your thinking to say that ignorance is not bliss. It is bliss at the moment, but as soon as you start to realize the results that came with having to have that ignorance mindset, you start to realize that you could have done it in a different way. You could have reacted in a different way, in a way that would have never destroyed you or even worked against you or even your will. Remember, we are given a will, what we call free will, based on different textures that explain this message differently in a different perception based on other people's cultures and also their traditions. I'm not here to actually explain that. What I'm trying to explain to you is that growing up is a scam. That's what I mean about this whole video. Because we're never taught how to react when we are faced with challenges. We're only taught how to be resilient. And having to face whatever we're facing, being resilient is not actually enough. We need to be prepared in our mindsets, mentally. We need to have mindsets that allows us to remain neutral through all those ups and downs. But we're only taught on how to be neutral when things are actually moving in our direction. But as soon as things start not working out, we start to react differently because we're told to avoid situations that feels like a threat in our realities, situations that feels like it's not good. But truth of the matter is that life is actually the way it is, whether good or bad. We have to remain neutral through all those ups and downs, those dark moments, and throughout those happy moments. We need to remain resilient. We have to understand as much as good things are happening in our lives or about to happen in our lives, bad things are actually on the way, and we shouldn't react differently because whenever good things happens to us, we react in a way that it feels like we own this world. But when bad things start to unfold, we feel like life is actually working against us. But that's not the truth of the matter. Hence, I'm challenging you and thinking to say, whatever happens, happens, whether we like it or not. I'm in a situation in my life whereby I feel like it's testing my maturity. As much as it is testing my maturity, it's testing my patience. When I say that I'm a resilient guy, it actually puts me in a situation where I need to prove myself, and I'm doing exactly that. Sometimes, whenever those situations come or even unfold in my life, I feel like it is not only a test, it is there to actually teach me a lesson that I cannot learn just by observing. A lesson that I cannot learn just by reading or even being taught. Even watching a video like the very same way you're doing can only be learned through experience. That's what I'm going through right now. And sometimes it puts me in a situation whereby I even question my choices, I even question my decisions. To say, if you're a resilient guy, do you mean what he just said? Do you mean what he just said? And I come back to myself, fighting against my thoughts, which were just working against me at that moment, and I felt like maybe I didn't make the right choices. And at the back of my mind, I'm saying to myself that, you know what? Let life be the way it's supposed to be, because if I react in a certain way that I might regret in the near future, I might not be the person that I said that I am. And it just questioned me to say, Yes, you said you are able to do 1, 2, 3. You said you are this guy. You said you are this guy. But with what you just explained or with what you just said, that doesn't symbolize the person that you say you are. That you said you are. This kind of video is just one of those videos where I get to remind you that whatever happens, bro, life will remain life, whether good or bad, whether we like it or not. Life will always just keep on presenting situations that we either like or even don't like, and that's not your role to correct every mistake. The only thing that you can actually do is remain the person that you are. Stick to your truth, stick to your beliefs, stick to who you are, because that's what you're meant to be. The person that you are not today is the person that you are avoiding to become, which is the best possible version of yourself. We need to work on that. We need to work on becoming the person that we are supposed to become. And part of becoming the person that you are supposed to become is having to understand that you need to have a teachable spirit, a spirit that will allow you to learn from the next person, a spirit that will allow you to seek for inspiration from the outside and also from within. It's your role and also your duty to perform. And for you to perform the right way, you need to have the right kind of skills, the right kind of a mindset that will allow you to do so. Let's work on your skills. Let's work on your mindset. That's where we should be starting. That's our starting point. Let's work on ourselves. We are work in progress. We are not perfect, and we are not supposed to be perfect. Perfectionism is an illusion. Those who seek to be perfect, they are not supposed to experience the whole full or even the experience of life, because you are in illusion. You are living in lie. You are lying to yourself. No one is perfect. That's why even when you do make those mistakes, do not blame yourself. That's how life is. We are evolving beings. We need to constantly evolve, and part of human evolution is having to make those kind of mistakes, whether big or even small. Mistake is just a mistake. You just forgive yourself, move on from it. The main point why I explained what I just explained in today's video, where I explained it in such a way that you are able to comprehend the message that I just explained to you, it is to make you realize that life will always remain life. When you grow older, things becomes differently and you react differently because of your beliefs, because of how your mindset is structured. But I do not blame you for reacting the way that you react. I could only blame you if you still remain the very same person that you were 5 years, 3 years ago. We need to work on ourselves. We are work in progress. Each and every day of our lives, we need to take some time to reflect from our thoughts, the reality that we are living in. Start to reflect, start to notice small details, and start to improve from there. Change starts from within. If you're not willing to change from within, do not expect to see change from the outside. What you're seeing out there is already within. You have everything that you need. You have everything that you want. You just have to realize it's a matter of awareness. That's why I said that life is actually a scam. When you're still young, life is not actually a scam. But as you grow older, you start to realize so many things. You start to correct so many things. You start to be aware of the things that seem to be very simple, of the things that seems to be like you become delusional when you're young. But as you get older, you start to realize so many things. You start to have so many revelations, and we need to work on that. We need to work on ourselves. So I'm not sure if you did happen to find value in what I've shared with you in today's video, but if you did, please let me know in the comment section on what value have you picked out in this video. Also guys, for more life-changing information, there is a book called To the Leader in You by Duncan and by me. I will leave the link to the book on the description box. On that note, if you're new into this YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and press the notification bell so whenever I get to upload, you will be the first one to be notified. On that note, I'll see you guys on the next one. Do not forget to subscribe.